Lance Blanks, we mentioned, in a successful cavalry debut. Here we see the former Texas Longhorn with a defensive steal, the jam. He's got 9 and playing well. And Mick, more importantly, he's playing in crunch time, which tells you that Henry Bibby has him to play and not sit and watch.
Good point. Former first-round pick of the Detroit Pistons. The Cavs have 6 players on their roster who are originally drafted by an NBA team. Sioux Falls only has 1, and he's not on the floor, Tito Horford.
Tito hadn't gotten many minutes tonight.
No matter where he is, he sits on the bench. Doesn't matter what league. They went over to the north side wide, sit on the bench.
Well, a streak is in jeopardy with Cedric Hunter. Sioux Falls had won 6 straight without him. He sprained an ankle. They had lost 4 straight. He's back. And they thought they'd get back on the winning track.
McDonald's shot misses. Williams hustles for the loose ball rebound. Cavs lead by 12. Hunter will try to force the defensive action, but the ball goes down low to Charles. Thompson hangs. Can't get it to fall, but draws the foul.
Well, you're right. Bernard Thompson is looking for his shot, and as long as he can either knock it down or go to the free throw line, that's what Oklahoma City's looking for. But he really had to work at that one, and it perhaps was a force. Odds are, though, he'll walk away with 2 because he's a 90% free throw shooter.
Thought you had jinxed him for a moment.
You know, what I say really doesn't, well, it really doesn't matter any time, but it certainly doesn't with him out there shooting. Oh, Meg. Meg.
95-82, Cavs by 13.
He's got his Walkman on.
It's Bill Edwards over to Cedric Hunter. Hunter hasn't had to shoot much tonight. Edwards drives in, quick whistle, and he'll shoot 2.
We may see some free throws shot between now and the finish line with 4:43 remaining. Obviously, the Sky Force is wanting to take it to the hole, and that's what the Cavalry has done for much of the night.
Cavs really doing well here in the 4th quarter. 21-12 advantage. It's always interesting to see who Henry Bibby puts out there in crunch time. Blanks and Williams are the guards. Thompson and Charles are the forwards, and Sumter's in there at center.
And Kermit Holmes is sitting next to Go-Go Stevens. Kermit wanting to play. He has a solid 9, has 20 points.
Full court press now employed by Sioux Falls. And they're an excellent team to do it. Those guards are lightning quick. Hunter and McDonald will both come up with steals if you give them an opportunity.
Yeah,
McDonald leads the league.
Yeah, more than one person has told me McDonald is the best defensive player in the entire CBA.
Sumter.
Sumter just can't finish. Not an offensive player. That's a bucket that should have been converted. Corey Williams got it to him in great shape.
Ball stripped. Williams wanted to run. But Williams, an outstanding defensive player as well. In fact, Henry Bibby said he was the best defensive player he'd ever seen. Lorenzo can't get it to fall, but there's the tip in. There's Sumter. There's the offense you were looking for. The 3-inch tip. 97-83. Cavs by 14. They have a 10-point advantage in the 4th quarter. Foul on the drive as McDonald tried to maneuver and get some room.
His first personal foul. Shooting 2 is bonus.
Corey Williams, one of the OSU players on the floor tonight, and talking with him before the game, I was asking him what's wrong with his Cowboys. He says, big country. I don't know. He says, I'm going to have a big talk with big country. So he's going to call Coach Sutton up and try to get it worked out. Cowboys are not playing up to expectations, and primarily because of Bryant Reeves' struggles.
Corey was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFL. Actually went to a mini camp. then decided to stick with basketball. Thompson with the rebound, and now he tries to break. Corey goes back to set it up. Cavs don't want to do anything stupid. They lead by 13 in the game. They lead this quarter by 9. That's Blanks.
Shot clock at 3.
McDonald called for the foul. He doesn't like it.
McDonald is livid over the call as Henry Bibby wants a 2-shot foul. I'm sure that's what it is.
McDonald's first foul of the evening.
McDonald has a lot of extra room in those britches.
Well, they're wearing them loose these days. Blanks.
McDonald will take a seat as Henry Bibby will substitute Kermit Holmes into the cavalry lineup and sit Mr. Sumter.
Blanks at the line. And he cans it. Blanks has had a great opening night for the Cavs. Limited playing time, but good numbers. Shown some nice teamwork out there as Bill Edwards scores from outside. And another turnover.
Well, that was actually 2 turnovers in 2 seconds. He was across the line.
Rebound and an easy putback by Bill Edwards. Edwards with 25 points. Williams. Bernard Thompson. Oh, it rattles out. And the Cavs have got some momentum here. They trail by 11. Edwards shoots way off the mark, but Campbell was there for the rebound. He had position, was able to draw the foul on Kermit Holmes.
Corey Williams having a chat with Bernard Thompson, and he's trying to tell him to be a little bit smarter. Don't jack that ball up. Corey said we're up 7 with 2:35 to go. Let's run some clock.
Well, Corey's played with Michael.
Yeah.
He knows what it means to pass the ball and get out of the way.
Corey wanting to go back and play, not necessarily with Michael, but in the NBA, and he says that his best chance of doing that is to come down here and get a lot of playing time. He said it was all great. It was wonderful to be able to go up and play with the Chicago Bulls, get the ring, make the money. But he didn't get any playing time, and for his long-term best interest, he feels playing will help him. And quite frankly, he has not played up to expectations, offensively and defensively. But he has a tremendous attitude, and I hope they stick with him, and I think things will work out.
Kermit Holmes has picked up his 6th foul. Be interesting to see if Henry keeps him in the game, as that is an option in the CBA. And a lot of times the NBA will test rules out using the CBA as the laboratory. And this is one of them that the NBA is looking at. Second year that the CBA has employed this no disqualification rule. There you see Sergeant Slammer as the Sundancers and Sergeant Slammer and Bugles are throwing frisbees to the 9,000 on hand.
And if you make a free throw, you get free tickets to Sunday night's game. Immediately following tonight's game. Just get in line, you make a free throw, free tickets to Sunday's game to see your Cavalry.
Kermit Holmes is back in the ball game along with Bernard Thompson.
Well, that is interesting that he chooses to go with Holmes, who has the 6 fouls, because there are several players on the bench that have played well, and he did not even decide to insert Kermit Holmes until a couple of minutes ago.
Lance Blanks is in there with Williams at the guard. So Kelsey not playing at crunch time after a lackluster first quarter. And of course, Lorenzo Charles has had a lot of playing minutes tonight and has tripled his usual scoring output. Cavs have a break, 2-on-1, but Blank slows it up. Cavs do not want to force the tempo at this point in the game. 2:25 to play. Cavs leading by 10. Blanks drives, leaves it off to Thompson, who turns down a shot.
Well, he remembered the chewing out from Corey.
Shot clock at 5. Blocking foul now.
You know,
on Bill Edwards.
there's a fine line. You want to run some of that clock, but there's a fine line between playing smart and conserving some of that clock and then playing passively. You've got to play smart but aggressive and get your good shots. Cavs were successful in this instance in running off a good deal of the shot clock and now being able to go to the free throw line and maybe cap it off.
There you see Blanks. Edwards thrusting his body in the way, and Blanks did a good job of picking up the foul. Blanks will shoot 2 as the Cavs are in the bonus. He misses. Now he'll shoot the second. Cavs lead the fourth quarter by 6. Make it 7. Cavs hit the century mark. Wilson drives inside. A lot of white jerseys there, and one of them fouled him. I think it was Lowe.
Foul on number 23 for the Cavalry, Lorenzo Charles. His 6th personal foul.
Lorenzo Charles picking up his 6th foul. So Holmes, who had left the game momentarily, goes in, and Sumner's coming out, and the Cavs have 2 players with 6 fouls in the ball game.
CBA getting ready to name a new commissioner. Cherdima Ussery has gone on to bigger and better things, and I understand they're going to name a star as the new commissioner here. But if you're commissioner for a day, Mick, what do you do to improve the league?
Boy, that's a good question. They have done well going to cities that do not have anything else in town to compete. Oklahoma City a little bit different in the fact that it's one of the larger cities. A lot of competition for entertainment dollar in this town. You look at the situation in Columbus, that's another large city by CBA standards, and they have drawn quite poorly. So I think I would study that issue. Which way do you want to go? To medium-sized cities like Oklahoma City and Columbus, or do you want to go to the Sioux Falls and Grand Rapids of the world? I think that's a decision they have to make, and you have to decide on expansion. Ultimately, you'd like to have the same amount of teams as the NBA so you could develop some sort of AAA farm system.
Wow. Well, I thought my answer was pretty good. I would tie these cities to say 5 schools in the area and have an Oklahoma City only have, say, OU, OSU, Tulsa, Oral Roberts, and some other school.
Yeah, I like
a little
that.
more identity.
Okay, I want you commissioner instead of me. I like your decision better.
Cavs trying to hang on, lead the quarter by 5 with 1:21 to go. They lead it by 3 now. Lead the game by 7.
The press is working well. Cavs have a lot of tired bodies on the floor.
They get the ball in a guard's hands.
Blanks. Blanks has a lot of energy. Those are young legs. Nice pass to Corey. Reverse layup won't go. Tip won't go.
Big miss.
A minute to play. Cavs lead the fourth quarter by 3. They lead the game by 7. Stuckey from inside. Won't fall. Ball hits the floor. Stuckey gets it, misses.
Gonna get a rebound.
Holmes gets it, stripped. He picks it up again. Williams with a long pass, 2-on-1 break. Thompson drives, draws the foul. He'll shoot 2.
Hunter wisely holds on to Bernard to keep him from getting the bucket. That would have had a chance to end it had he converted, and still might with the 2 here.
41 seconds to play. Thompson at the line. Thompson with 14 points tonight. He was on the Cavs division winning team back in 91-92. He led the CBA in free throw percentage that year, and you see his disgust as that's the second one he's missed since Dean mentioned what a good free throw shooter he was.
Nothing but net here.
And Dean calls it. 101-93 Cavs. Stick with us as we'll be joining 2020 in progress following tonight's game.
Good look at the Cavalry bench. You can see the assistant coaches there. Now you see the Sioux Falls bench, and they have some assistants of note. Guy that I knew back in Tulsa, met Trey Schwab there with his, on the left there with his backside to us. Tommy Smith, also one of the assistants, but also we want to mention the assistants for the Cavalry. These guys put in a ton of time. Rich Marshall is the director of basketball operations. Don Flick, and we mentioned earlier Bob Go-Go Stevens, assistant coaches for Henry Bibby.
And Henry consults all of his coaches, and Go-Go was telling me I always have to tell Henry after I've told him something, but that's just me. You do what you need to do. You're the head coach. And of course Henry does that, but Go-Go loves to run. I'm not sure Barry Sumner would be on the team if Go-Go were choosing the roster.
Go-Go ran when it wasn't in vogue. You remember down at Oklahoma back in the early 60s.
Looking at the quarter scores, the Sky Force scored at the very end of the first period and won that one 27-25. Cavs came back impressively with Corey Williams inserted at point guard and won the second quarter 28-20. Sky Force again did the things at the end to win the third quarter, while the Cavs have a 4-point advantage and a free throw shooter at the line as the fourth quarter winds down. If they hold on, they'll get 5 standing points.
Could have swept. I mean, they had a situation tonight where they could have walked away with all 7, and that's rare. Although it's happened twice in the last week for them. Once pro, once con.
They played Sioux Falls 2 weeks ago here and took 6 points. In that ball game, Roger Lyons was ejected after getting into an argument with one of the fans here, although he wasn't ejected for that. He got into an argument with one of the Cavalry fans who sits in the Super Nicholson seats. That's right, 4 fans sit next to the head coaches. And they pay dearly for those seats.
We'll see if Cedric Hunter can get his club a 3-point shot. I'm sure that's what they would like to get off here. They get the pick. They do get it off. Wilson.
Hunter grabs the rebound. 30 seconds in the game. Miss. Holmes with the rebound.
Well, they got 2 uncontested 3-pointers off.
Williams draws the foul. There are the Super Nicholson seats. Now, if we could pan over, we could see how close they are to the bench where the players are. I mean, they're sitting on the same row. Look at this. There's Lyons, the head coach, right there now in the middle of your screen. Free throw by Williams goes down. 102-93. And I might add, the same situation down at the other end, although tonight Henry Bibby is the closest one to the scorer's table. The Super Nicholson seats are at the other end.
Well, that ought to do it. Cavs have a 6-point fourth quarter lead.
Stuckey's wanting to pad his numbers. Can't do it. Williams has the ball. 10 seconds to play. Holmes lays it in.
Big night for Kermit. He's got 22, and the Cavs will win it.
It's going to be a win on opening night, Dean. The final score from the Myriad. Cavalry 105. Skyforce 93. Cavs get 5 standing points. Dean, it's been fun.
It has been 105-93. Mick, see you sometime after the first. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
We'll be back with more. A final word right after this.
Another win either here or against Clemson coming up on the road this weekend. Hi everybody, I'm Brad Nessler with Dick Vitale, and welcome to Alexander Memorial Coliseum, where tonight it's been our honor over the course of 4 years to see some great games in here, and a tremendous player, a privilege to watch him. Matt Harpring, his final game here tonight, Dick.
What's really amazing, Brad, there were a lot of people that said he couldn't play at the major college level. They didn't recruit the guy, and the guy's become an All-American. He's made my first team All-American team this year. He can shoot the three-point shot. He is so versatile. There he is moving without the basketball. He can post down the inside. He has a multi multi-dimensional amount of ability. There he is slashing to the basket. He's a big-time scorer, over 2,000 points in his career, second in the conference in scoring, a flat-out PT peer, and a great young guy.
And a PT peer enough that about 3 minutes ago, his number 15 was retired here in Atlanta. Tonight, though, they meet the number 1 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils. You saw them Sunday against UCLA. That was a laugher. Now they've got Carolina coming up this weekend. Can they stay focused tonight?
I think the one thing people have to understand, Mike Krzyzewski, really the psychology of coaching, he's number 1. This team is ready and focused to play. If they get beat tonight, it's going to be because of a great effort by Georgia Tech. The bottom line is Duke is ready to play. They have such a versatile team, such a deep team, and now the return of Elton Brand inside gives them balance, interior and perimeter. I'll tell you one thing, though, they're going to meet a real test tonight because Georgia Tech's Matt Harpring and his gang are really emotional and ready to perform.
And there is a precedent for beating number 1 teams. 5 years ago, Georgia Tech beat a Duke team here in Atlanta back in 1993. They're hoping for...
Tuning in tonight, the Cavs walk away with 5 standing points. They win at 105-93. Lorenzo Charles was big on the backboards. He was big scoring as well. He leads the way for Oklahoma City with 25 points. Kermit Holmes has 22. McBill Edwards, and you know where he played college ball, he leads the way with 27 tonight.
I think he went to Wright State, did he not?
He did.
27 points for him tonight, 25 for Lorenzo Charles. This could be the game that Henry Bibby found a new inside player.
Well, he might have. He's had him in there for some time, but a little more success tonight. The Cavs, though, with a little different lineup. I think Mays had a successful debut and an overall pretty solid outing.
Henry did a good job of finding who could play tonight and stuck with them.
He did, and it's unusual. Usually when you see the Cavs roll and win big, it's Kelsey Weems. It's his show. Kelsey didn't really show tonight. There you see the numbers.
That's right. Charles with 25, Holmes with 22, Thompson 15, and Edwards the high scorer for Sioux Falls. A lot of people to thank tonight. Hal Holland, Kerry Decker, Paul Stanley on stats. They did a great job for us.
And Ricky Pendergraft helped out. We want to wish you a safe and happy new year. For Mick Cornett, I'm Dean Blevins. Have a happy new year.
Good night.
This telecast of Oklahoma City Cavalry basketball was brought to you by Anthony's, the place to get casual. By your Oklahoma Ford dealers, the Truck Authority. Sight and Sound. What we do best is save you money. And by Evans Home Furnishings Mall. Evans has it all.